YouTube and everybody else. Hello, YouTube, Instagram, Substack. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, everybody. All right, let me start Instagram. As I said, everything takes a bit here to start. Actually, I've got everything ready today. There we go. All right, Instagram is ready. One sec. All right, Instagram is live, and Substack should be live. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find Substack again. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, I found Substack. Thank God. All right. That's good. Substack is not easy for me to find here. All right. I've got Substack there. Oops. Let me lift this a little. Almost there. And then TikTok, and we're good. All right. Now I got TikTok, and then we are good. Excellent. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Oops. Close some of these things. Oop. I have many things open here. There we go. Aye. Why do I have so many things open? So I had more things on my computer open than I thought, and I don't want it to compete with the memory. Mamma mia. Dear Lord. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. You guys are good. And let me get TikTok going, and then we're done. Not we're done. I mean, we're starting. We're not done. You know what I mean? I'm done setting up. All right. And TikTok is live. Excellent. We have a nice sunset happening. Oh, we do have a nice sunset happening, which of course means we are getting very close to me having to up to block this on. Hey, Tom Cities. Anyway, hello everybody. Happy Monday. Slava Ukraini, Petruga. Yeah, so welcome guys. John Arvosis here. We have a decent chance I may skip some of the stories because we've just got too many stories tonight. So we'll see how it goes. But so big surprise. Anyway, welcome folks. I'm John Arvosis. So this show, as you know, is news. We talk about the latest news. We go for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. We did not get snow today. We got there was a chance of us getting massive snow last night in DC. We ended up getting like 2 inches and it didn't stick, which honestly, you can see like just for TikTokers, you see just a little bit there. New Jersey, I think you're getting slammed. Are you not? Oh, you already got it. More than a foot in New Jersey. Oh, you already got more than a foot? Hey, Jens. I mean, I do enjoy snow, but the last one, 12 inches, it must have skirted north of us, basically. My dog, I'm letting you go, but so help me God, I'm keeping my eye on you. The dog is doing her full-blown, let's go outside and eat stuff mode. So I've been yelling at her and keeping an eye on her, but we'll see. Stream is lagging. Craven. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Sorry, keep an eye on Miss Pretty here. So she comes back to eat the leaves. Anyway, 33 inches. You did not get 33 inches in Rhode Island. No way. No way. In one snowstorm? Get out of here. Get out of here. For real? Any case, yeah, so we didn't get snow, which I'm very glad because at least we're back to normal now. All right, I'm looking for my dog. All right, you. All right, come here. I see you. Come on. Come on. Hey, over here. Thank you. There we go. All right. She did not eat sticks because I yelled at her. Otherwise, she would have eaten sticks. Anyway, YouTube stream is laggy and buffering. I redid my router the other day, although I can tell I can tell StreamYard is being slow today. I don't know. Real quick question. So on TikTok, I'm assuming TikTok is good, my connection and the quality and everything. YouTube is being evil. How about the rest of you? Substack and Discord? Or Facebook or anybody else? Oh, interesting. Discord says it's normal. Are the rest of you, is it lagging? Because for YouTube, it's lagging a bit. No, see, for Discord, it's good on Substack too. Ooh, this is interesting. This is some YouTube connection thing with StreamYard. Interesting. Yeah, YouTube and StreamYard. I use StreamYard, same concept. Oh, it is lagging a little bit on Discord. I mean, all right, well, how about if I don't move my head? I won't move my head and I'll talk like Clutch Cargo. And then it won't look like it's lagging because I won't move the whole show. Right. All right. Anyway, guys, welcome. So tomorrow is the 4th anniversary of, you well know, but we will be doing more after that. Guys, ain't nothing we can do about YouTube. You know that. Chiefs is getting worried about this. Ener, we didn't have Substack before. I'm starting to do, and I do a morning update on Substack. So the chairman of the Joint Chiefs is America's top uniformed military official, meaning the Secretary of Defense, of course, is the head of the top general. He, according to a couple things. One, basically Trump is planning a huge attack, and it will have to be a huge attack if Trump truly thinks he's going to, overthrow the Iranian government. It could be months and months, if not longer, of attacks, thousands of targets, lots of munitions we're going to be using, lots of bombs, etc. And basically said two things. One, it's not clear we've got enough munitions to do that. It's not clear, or let me put it this way. I shouldn't say not clear we've got enough. Let me, because I think I know what he might have been up to. He said, cautioning that any major operation against Iran will face challenges because the U.S. munitions stockpile has been significantly depleted by Israel and Ukraine. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we would run out, but it means we could get dangerously low, right? If we get dangerously low, then all of a sudden, war with Russia, war with China, we don't have enough to fight them. That's the first thing he warned about. Second thing, which was very interesting, he said, actually, I want to get this exact here. Shortfalls in critical munitions and a lack of support from allies will add significant risk to the operation and to U.S. personnel. The operation overall and our troops are going to be at greater risk because our allies are not on board, right? Our allies are not on board. Why aren't our allies on board? Well, the major reason is because Donald Trump has been hateful to them, turned on them, treated them like shit, and that's where we are now, right? YouTube guys, try something. Folks said to try to hit the like thing or whatever it is on YouTube, and at least for WC, it got rid of the lag. But any case, nothing I can do. Guys, just keep letting me know how it goes on YouTube, but I can't, there's nothing I can do other than maybe I don't keep using StreamYard, but then it screws up everything else, which is bad. But we'll see. So anyway, very interesting that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs is warning Trump about Iran. We haven't gone to war yet. We've got everything in the region. We've got, the latest number I saw was, hang on here, 40 to 50% of deployable U.S. air power in the world is now in the Middle East region, preparing for war. Scary. Anyway, so that's what's up with Iran. Still waiting to see what happens. I found one of the White House quotes from June. We were talking about this. I don't remember if I showed you guys the other day. Let me pull this up one sec. The White House quotes from June that were just, beautiful, classic White House. Here we go. This was the White House webpage, June 25th, 2025. Let me show you first. Iran's nuclear facilities have been obliterated and suggestions otherwise are fake news. Last June. Iran's nuclear facilities have been obliterated. Except now they're not anymore. And even more so, one of the top Trump officials said something like, Iran is 1 week away from doing something really dangerous with its nuclear facilities. And we were like, 1 week away? 7 months ago, you said they were obliterated and not coming back. Right. Anyway, Kash Patel's Joyride. So this was another big story. Seriously? We're not, come here, we're not playing right now. No, I'm not playing with you right now. I've got this, that's right, go lay down a little bit, all right? Jeez, my dog is feeling better. Her legs are doing better, which is great, but it now means all day long she's like, woo, play with me. Anyway, so Kash Patel. This I'm going to show you the video. ProPublica got the video. Kash Patel, our FBI director, decided to take a $75,000 trip, plane costs alone, to go to the Olympics. He wanted to go see the men's ice hockey because the ice hockey is his big sport he likes. So he took the private FBI plane and flew to the Olympics this weekend. It costs $75,000 just to use the plane. This does not include the staff he brought with, the security, because he had to have security. This does not include the accommodations. Where was he going to sleep? Where was the staff going to sleep? Food, per diem. I mean, some thoughts are the cost goes well over $100,000, okay? For him to go to a sports game. He wanted to go see a hockey game. And he spent over $100,000 of our money to do it. When the media got wind of the story, they, talked about it. The FBI denied it and said, he's going for business meetings. He's not going. We already know why he's going. He's going to watch the men's hockey team play in the finals. We know exactly. No, this is a business trip. This is not pleasure. So let me show you the video that gets out. Let me find the longer video. Hold on. There's several videos here. I'm trying to find like the long. I need to start at the beginning because the first shot of the video is our FBI director getting SH-faced with the Italy, not having fun. He's working. Now let me show you. Oh, a point to team. He barged his way into their changing room, into the locker room, and decided to join in the celebrations of their medal. I mean, it was like, the other reporter said, even more than the drinking, which is really great. He's the FBI director, and he's chugging on camera. Even more than in their private celebration in the locker room, he has no, he just barged in to do it. He then later gets Trump on the phone to show that he can get Trump. Gets Donald Trump on the phone. And Trump goes, well, I will play the Trump video for you. Here's Trump. Listen carefully because it's right at the beginning.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. Absolutely.
They're joking because Trump didn't call up the women's team. He called up the men's team. Trump then invited the men's team to come for the State of the Union tomorrow. Hadn't invited the women, and he goes, oh, so yeah, I got to tell you, I guess we have to invite the women because they won gold too. Well, the women already responded today and said, thank you so much. Our schedule is too busy. Their schedule was too busy to come to Washington for the State of the Union. I thought that was pretty freaking funny. That was really freaking funny. So that was pretty good. The other thing I want to show you is Kash Patel talking about Christopher Wray, the FBI director before him, the Trump appointee, Republican, appointed by Trump in the first term. And Christopher Wray, I don't remember what Christopher Wray did, used the FBI plane for something personal. I don't know what it was. Here's what Kash Patel had to say in 2023, just 3 years ago, about Christopher Wray using the FBI jet for personal trips. Hang on a second.
And I'm not saying take all their funding. I'm not the defund everything guy. I'm just saying Chris Wray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off. Just a thought. Minimum. And I'm not saying take all their funding.
Only 3 years ago, he went after the other FBI director for using the same plane he used to go on vacation. And by the way, this isn't his first vacation. He already got into trouble because he took his girlfriend on vacation too, previously. And basically tried to defend it. And here's the defense is interesting. It's bullshit, but it's interesting. The defense is, as FBI director, you don't have a choice but to fly your private jet because of the security. It's too dangerous. It's just too dangerous to do anything else, right? Okay, maybe. Here's the problem. One, if as FBI director, you have to take a private jet because it's too dangerous or whatever, right? Then you skip the vacations while you're FBI director, or you drive. But you don't fly anywhere on vacation in that plane because it is inappropriate and it looks inappropriate. You definitely don't bring your squeeze with. This isn't even his wife. This is a girlfriend. You do not bring a girlfriend with, no way. And you also never, ever, ever, ever do an international trip, an international vacation on the public dime. Even if, as FBI director, you don't have a choice but to take that plane, then you don't take the plane and you don't go abroad, right? Thank you, MC. But you sure as hell don't go to the freaking Olympics and charge the U.S. taxpayers probably over $100,000. Right, charter your own jet. Actually, good point. Really, just incredibly inappropriate. Just incredibly inappropriate. Anyway, what else we got here? Oh, actually, hold it. I mixed my notes up a little. Listen to this. I did have a Trump quote from July 19th, meaning 7 months ago. Listen to this. Trump on July 19th. All 3 nuclear sites in Iran were completely destroyed and or obliterated. It would take years to bring them back into service. That was the seminal quote of Trump. All 3 nuclear sites were completely destroyed and or obliterated. It would take years to bring them back into service, Trump said, not 7 months ago. Witkoff, one of his top guys on Sunday, they're probably a week away from having industrial-grade bomb-making material. They're a week away, the Trump people are now saying. A week. A week away. Right? When Trump 6 months ago said, oh, they're toast. It'll take years, if ever. The reoccurring theme here, which I've said before, he lies a lot. Hey, Will, he lies a lot. And Trump's lies matter. You know, they're not just something you can just say, right? Will had a question about Iran. He said, when do you think an attack is likely? Any day. Do you think the attack and retaliation, how long do you think the attack and the retaliation will last? There were more articles this weekend about this. Thank you, Russell. Keep the gifts coming. I didn't do a gift pitch today, but keep the gifts coming on TikTok and YouTube, etc. Thank you, guys. There were more stories today that Trump is considering a wide variety of attacks. Anything from, blowing up a few things to a massive effort to overthrow the government. A massive effort to overthrow the government, we may not have the weapons for that. And we may not be able to pull it off anyway, because as we learned with Saddam Hussein, remember, we looked this up the other day during my show. I was curious as to, remember the first time we went in, months and months and months of bombing, we didn't get Hussein. Second time we went into Iraq, 2003, that was the bad one that we lied. 2003, it took 3 years to get Saddam Hussein. Thank you, Luis. 3 years, like 2.5 to 3 years to capture Saddam Hussein. It's not necessarily easy to overthrow a government. And, you think, because, right, we would think like, well, we got such a great military, bomb them for a week and they're toast, right? You don't realize, like, that's not necessarily, maybe it's like Venezuela, that you go in and you grab somebody and it's done. Maybe it's like Iraq, that it takes 2.5 to 3 years, right? The issue is that clearly Trump is preparing to attack Iran. Clearly he is using it as a bargaining chip to try to get Iran to reach some deal. Fair enough. But clearly, if Iran doesn't reach the deal, Trump is attacking. The only question now is, thank you, Says, for the confetti. The only question now is, how much of an attack is Trump planning on doing, right? Because of the amount of military forces we have put in the Middle East, we have put equivalent to what we had in 1991 when we kicked Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait, equivalent to 2003 when we obliterated Iraq. That is the extent of what we are looking at. We are looking at a massive invasion, absolutely massive invasion. I think he's going to do it. The question is when. And again, maybe Iran will cave. I don't see Iran caving. Let's see. But I think war is coming. Former British, a little Epstein story. Former British Ambassador Peter Mandelson, who was the British ambassador to the U.S. Under Trump just last year, actually, Actually, 2004. Sorry, 2024. I think he was appointed, not last year. 2024, he was appointed. He was arrested today and questioned because of the Epstein stuff. Apparently, allegedly, according to the articles, he has a long history with Epstein. He, back in like 2003, 2004, Epstein gave him 3 payments of $25,000 each. Okay, thank you, Annie. Gave him 3 payments of $25,000 each. Years later, like 2010, 2012, something like that. Oh, thank you for the race car. Thank you, Gene, for the race car. 2010, 2012. So like years after, the British ambassador, this guy who becomes the British ambassador to the U.S., before he was ambassador to the U.S., provided Epstein with some confidential documents. Now, just like Andrew, formerly known as Prince, the documents are not necessarily I'm still trying to get a handle on this, but I don't think they're necessarily classified. They're not like they're top secret, but in the American system, and I assume Brits have as well, we have sort of a for official use only kind of thing, meaning only government employees can see these documents. It's still a crime to release them to the public, even if they're not classified. These are the documents that this ambassador apparently gave to Epstein. Again, because he gave Epstein the documents, it looks weird. Because Epstein gave him money, it looks weird. There was also a report, I'm guessing the ambassador was gay, which I did not. Am I mixing this up or something? Was the ambassador gay? Because the story said something about his partner at the time, whose first name was like Ronaldo, which is Brazilian and it's masculine, asked Epstein for help with some kind of schooling he is gay, that's what I thought, for some kind of schooling he was going to, and wrote Epstein and said, hey, I could really use, I don't remember, it wasn't a small amount of money, for my schooling, and Epstein said, I got it covered. Oh, he's Portuguese, okay. I knew the name is Portuguese language, put it that way. Very weird story. What is interesting is, yet more Brits are in trouble. Yet more British people are in trouble now. Oh, they got married? Well, that's good, I guess. Andrew, who was a prince, is in trouble. This guy's in trouble. They're getting arrested and questioned. It's not happening here. We've had, again, a couple lawyers. I mean, how big's the list? Beyond those 2 lawyers, third guy today. We had 2 lawyers. One was a woman who worked for Obama, maybe, I think, who then Epstein ties. She's in trouble. She had to quit her firm. Another was a guy in charge of one of the top firms. He had to quit or something. And the third one was some guy that I wasn't even going to mention it today, so I don't have it in my notes, but some guy who got hired by CBS, Dr. Atia or something. I don't know who he is, some health expert or something. He gets hired by CBS, and he's in the Epstein documents as well. CBS let him go today. Or he left CBS. Bottom line is, he's gone from CBS today because of the Epstein stuff. So, good news in that sense, right? But we have very, very few people. We've got 12 people close to Trump around, approximately. Many of them are in the administration that are in the Epstein files. Now, other than Trump, I am not aware of any of Trump's cohort being accused of a crime other than Trump himself in the documents. There are accusations of Trump committing heinous crimes in the documents. I have not seen anything referring to any other crimes committed by Trump's cohorts. Several of Trump's cohorts are in the documents, Lutnick, Commerce Secretary, others, right? Elon Musk. Thank you, Kerry. But I have not seen, and thank you, Annie, as well, and Sharon, accusations of crimes. Oh, thank you, Annie. That's cute. I'm going to guess that lets you pick a message. Does it? That's very cool if it does. That's kind of neat. Even if it doesn't, it's cool, though. So very interesting. But again, the Brits are in trouble. The Americans, not so much so far. But we shall see. Polling. I have a good amount of information on polling today. It's good. Well, this is an election year in America. We have the Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, exactly. Well, but I also say Andrew, who was the prince, because if I say Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, a lot of you will know who he is. Some people will not know who he is. But if I say Andrew, the guy who was Prince Andrew, everyone goes, oh, that guy. That's the reason I explain it that way. So CNN polls. This year we've got congressional elections in the fall. 100% of the House of Representatives is up for election. 1/3 of the Senate. That's the way it works. 1/3 of the Senate every 2 years, and the entire House every 2 years. Let me get you some polling. Trump's net approval rating. Okay, we talk about net polls because not all of you are with us every day. I think it's important to explain what net approval means because it's kind of confusing when you first look at it. Like you look and you say, Trump's net approval is -27. What does that mean? The net approval means the difference between his approval and his disapproval in the polls, right? And the net number gives you a sense of the distance, right? For example, if Trump's approval was 50, you might think, oh, his net approval, meaning the difference between approve and disapprove, is 0 because he's 50, so there's 50 left. What if 50 approve, but 50 approve, but only 25 disapprove, and the rest aren't sure? Well, that would be a 25. That would be a plus 25, right? If he had 25% disapprove, 50% approve, his approval would actually be pretty good. It wouldn't be 50-50. So you look at the net to get a sense of the difference between the approval rating and the disapproval rating. Approval minus disapproval, that's the net. Trump is at -27. That means he's 27 percentage points more unpopular than he is popular. That's very interesting, right? That tells you a lot more. Now, you also have to look at it in terms of historically, okay? 2018, Trump, for the State of the Union. 2018, Trump was at -15. 2019, -15. 2020, -10. Wow. Today, -27. Very unpopular. Compared to other presidents with their State of the Union in this part of the term. Bush, -11. Obama, -15. Trump, -27. Way more unpopular. Now, why is this happening? Harry says independents. Independents are driving the drop, and that's, huge trouble, big trouble for moose and squirrel, the fact that it's independents. Why? Well, it's pretty intuitive. Republicans vote for Trump, right? Trump could blow up the entire world and Republicans would go, oh, yay, right? Most Democrats will probably never approve of anything Trump does. Not anything, but most, right? Most Democrats have written Trump off. We know who he is. Most Republicans kind of get on their knees for Trump and say, yes, master, right? Nothing Trump can do. Independents are the swing people, mostly the independents, right? And independents hate him to a degree, like a degree never seen in history. Last year, his net approval with independents, meaning approval rating minus disapproval rating. What percentage approved of him minus the disapprove, and what's the difference? You want to be positive, meaning more people like you than don't like you. If you're negative, it means more people disapprove than approve, right? The difference between approve and disapprove, a year ago, February of 2025, Trump had a -13% approval rating. So 13 points more disapprove than approve, right? So you're equal, you go 1, 2, 3, 13 points up, all right? So he was 13 points disapprove, was more popular. Today, last year he was -13. Today, with independents, he's -47. He went from 13 points more disapprove to 47 points more disapprove with independents. I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane how much they hate him. I mean, this would be the difference of, I can't even think what it would be like. I mean, I'd have to get the actual numbers. Among independents, it would be like, what would it be? 87%, what would it be? I'm getting confused. It wouldn't be 87. It would be like 60, 70, 70, 30. Yeah, it's going to be low. It's going to be 72 73, probably 73. Probably like 73, 36-ish, I think. Maybe a little less. Anyway, horrific poll numbers with independents. They hate him, which is good. Hey, CJ, glad you're an independent. Hope you agree. Little more on the polling. Oh, hello. There you are, YouTube. I thought you disappeared on me. All right, there we go. A little more on the polling. Larry Sabato. Larry Sabato, who is with University of Virginia, I believe. Very smart guy. Old school political expert polling. Brilliant polling expert. Sabato said today, in a word, this number is terrible for Trump. And of course, terrible for Trump means terrible for Republicans in the fall. So far, knock on wood, going very well for the election. Greenland update. This is a crazy story, but what a surprise with Trump. We had a problem with a nuclear submarine. We had a nuclear submarine off of Greenland. Some people think it was sent there to harass the Greenlanders. We got a nuclear submarine off of Greenland, and one of our submariners got sick and needed evacuation. So, I don't know, appendicitis, who knows, but something where it's like he needed to get out of there now, right? They couldn't treat him. Denmark sent a rescue effort to rescue the American sailor, the American submariner, to bring him back to Denmark, which was great, right? Absolutely great. And Trump didn't respond by thanking Denmark. Trump responded, crazy stuff from Trump. He puts out a tweet. I am sending a hospital ship to Greenland. People are very sick and they're not getting help. And the U.S. hospital ship will arrive shortly to save the Greenlanders. The Prime Minister of Greenland goes, actually, we've got really good health care and it's free. The Danish Prime Minister goes, actually, we've got really good health care, and if it's really bad, they can always come to Denmark and get even, if it's some kind of super complicated thing or whatever. Then I read we've got 2 hospital ships, right? 2 U.S. military hospital ships. Both of the hospital ships are apparently in dry dock because they're being repaired. He just made it up. It was a hospital. Okay, it was a helicopter. Okay, it was a hospital. He just made it up, which is the even weirder thing. We weren't sending a hospital ship. He lied because he was embarrassed that the Danes had to come and save one of our sailors. Also, the Danish Prime Minister said, "Yeah, you won't be sending the ship. Thanks. It's not welcome." Good for them. But he's still screwing around with Greenland, and this is what is so dangerous about this stuff. You know what I mean? No lie is too big, exactly. What else we got here? Politico, Department of Homeland Security is accused of using surveillance technology to track activists in Maine. Activists say they were being threatened with being placed on a watch list after their faces were scanned and their license plates were copied. They are doing a class action lawsuit against ICE, saying that their First Amendment rights are being violated because basically the ICE guys are trying to scare them away from monitoring what ICE is doing. It is legal to monitor what law enforcement does. It is legal to photograph law enforcement as long as you don't get in their way. As long as you physically don't block them or touch them, you can do it. The ICE guys are taking their pictures and saying, we're putting you on a terrorist database, and if you keep doing this, in other words, you better stop exercising your First Amendment rights. That's illegal. Listen to this. An officer told one person, I hope you know that if you keep coming to things like this, you are going to be on a domestic terrorist watch list. Then we're going to come to your house later tonight for exercising our First Amendment rights. 404 Media says ICE has bought 2 apps which allow the agency to track phones without a warrant and follow their owner's home or to their employer. And a former ICE instructor, a third story today, a former ICE instructor who quit in protest 2 weeks ago is blowing the whistle on this administration's immigration tactics. Ryan Schwenk said the rush to scale up, basically they've been hiring people left and right, is leading to thousands of new recruits ill-equipped to carry out their duties lawfully, which is really scary because the point is these guys are law enforcement, they've got guns, they're interacting with an angry public, and they're not sufficiently trained, which is obviously very scary. U.S. Ambassador to France. This is crazy. The French, God bless the French on this one, the French have just told the U.S. ambassador he is no longer welcome to talk to any government officials. Why was he banned from talking to government officials? Well, first of all, he's Jared Kushner's criminal father that Trump pardoned. They pardoned him. He's a criminal. He's a crook. They pardon him and then send him to France as ambassador. That was the first thing. A couple weeks ago, I didn't know about this story. This is how freaking dangerous our government has gotten. I did not know this until today. A couple weeks ago, some far-right activist, all the news stories describe him as far-right. So you know who this kid is. 23-year-old far-right French activist. And not to mention in France, when you're far-right, you're really far-right. Far-right French activist gets killed. They think it might have been people on the left. Who knows, right? They're investigating. The far right accuses the far left. The far left accuses the far right, right? This kind of thing. And of course, in far right in Europe means fascist, generally speaking. That's what I'm saying. Like, of course, in America it does too. In America, I mean, I have to it's kind of funny because things have changed. In the old days, far right in America did not necessarily mean fascist. In France, it did. Now we've branched out in America as well. Well, the Trump people, hello dog. Okay, my dog is wanting to be pet here. Okay, all right, you're getting a pet. The Trump people have grabbed onto this as a cause célèbre. They are using it, the State Department, to trump it. And they've said this, that there is a global conspiracy of left-wingers killing people, political violence from the left wing, and it's a global conspiracy thing, like a global contagion. And they're using this guy's cause. They jumped on the cause of a far-right nut job in France to promote this crazy shit they're doing at home. And the French, not thrilled. They publicly criticized the French government about the killing and saying, look at these killings you have in your country. And the French responded and basically said, we don't need any lessons from you about political violence. Just to remind folks, the history of political violence, at least, I don't know about France. In America, absolutely. The history of political violence is right-wing. It is disproportionately to a ridiculous percentage of political violence in America, sadly, is right-wing violence. It is not left-wing violence. There's been a little more in the last year, but historically, go back 30 years, it is right-wing violence. They are gaslighting, of course. They are lying, of course. This is what they do. The danger is, for some reason, the Trump administration wants to promote fascist groups in Europe and fascist. I mean, this is scary stuff that they're doing. That's why I said your guys' countries need to wake up to this. You need to take a stand. The ambassador, they demanded the American ambassador come to the foreign ministry today in France and explain himself. He refused to show up. They should have kicked him out. And I mean, this is where, again, guys, he's planning on going to war in Iran. He needs you guys. He needs you guys. He needs the Brits especially. When they crap on you, you need to crap back, unfortunately. It's really, I mean, and again, they're now going to be funding these groups. You heard about that. The Trump administration is planning on spending, I think it was like $200 million or something, on basically fascist groups in Europe that they're going to start funding now. So the Russians are funding them, and we're funding them now too, the far-right fascists in Europe. You know, Australia, I'm sure they're going to come after you guys too. Canada, I'm sure you're going to get it too. I mean, you need to stand up to these people. Sickening stuff, really. What else we got here? Judge Caine, oh yeah, Trump's little appointee to the court in Florida, the one who does his bidding on everything. She decreed today that Jack Smith's report on Trump stealing the classified information and hiding it at Mar-a-Lago can never be released to the public because it would be unfair to Donald Trump if we found out what he did. Again, not a democracy anymore. Tom Nichols. Tom Nichols is very interesting. Long-time defense expert. I didn't get more. I've got just enough water. I may have to get more in a minute. Longtime defense expert. And he did an essay for The Atlantic. A very interesting essay for The Atlantic. And he, I got that one myself. The essay is that the GOP, the Republican Party, has a NZ problem. We have to use other words. Germans from World War II problem is his essay in The Atlantic. Atlantic, very august American publication. I want to read you this because I didn't fully realize what the Trump people had been doing. If you're Jewish, this should scare the hell out of you. If you're anybody, this should scare the hell out of you. If you're Israeli, you really, this is why I tell the Israelis too, like, you know, these guys being your ally, it's a fine line. Listen to this from Tom Nichols in The Atlantic. Republicans are deploying NZ imagery and rhetoric and espouse ideas associated with the NZ party during its rise to power in the early 1930s. A few recent examples. Thank you for the pony, Joy. Appreciate that. A few recent examples. An ICE lawyer linked to a white supremacist social media account that praised the H-man leader from Germany in World War II. He was allowed to return to work in a federal court by the Trump administration. Members of the National Young Republicans Organization, thank you, is that Luis? Thank you, Luis. Members of the National Young Republican Organization were caught in a group chat laughing about their love for H-man from Germany. Vice President J.D. Vance shrugged off that controversy instead of condemning the growing influence of anti-Semites in his party. Even federal agencies are modeling NZ phrasing. The Department of Homeland Security used an anthem beloved by neo-NZ groups. Quote, "By God, we'll have our home again," they wrote in a recruitment ad for Homeland Security. The Labor Department hung a giant banner of Donald Trump's face from its headquarters, as if Washington were Berlin in 1936, and posted expressions on social media such as "America is for Americans," an obvious riff on the NZ slogan "Germany for the Germans," and "Americanism will prevail," in a font reminiscent of Third Reich documents. Because right, we all know what that blocky kind of font looked like. More recently, the White House's official Twitter account supported Trump's pursuit of Greenland by posting a meme with the caption, "Which way, Greenland man?" I didn't know about this one. Listen to this. The Trump meme, the White House meme, tweeted by Trump and company, said, "Which way, Greenland man?" And he said, that's not just a turn of phrase. It's an echo of "Which way, Western man?" It was the title of a book, a 1978 book by American neo-NZ William Gailey Simpson, a former Presbyterian minister who called for America to expel all of its Jewish citizens. That's insane. That's the guy they were paraphrasing to go after Greenland. Not to mention Greenland, a country that, like, you know, is filled with people who aren't white, just to add to the disgustingness of it. Yeah, I will read this again. The White House official X account supported Trump's pursuit of Greenland by posting a meme with the caption, "Which way, Greenland man?" He said it's an echo of the phrase "Which way, Western man?" which is the title of a 1978 book by the American neo-NZ William Gailey Simpson, a former Presbyterian minister who called for America to expel all of its Jewish citizens. I mean, I'm getting water. 1 second here. Very scary stuff. There we go. Oh, I mean, you know, again, how bad can it get? And then they're embracing far-right extremists in France. They're giving money to fascist groups around the world. I mean, we cannot have this election quickly enough. And honestly, our sights should be on taking back the Senate. If we can get the Senate and the House, Trump is screwed. The House is still going to screw him up. We get the Senate and the House, Trump is screwed. I mean, we still don't control, the White House, but he's really screwed if we can get both of those. New York Times. Russia's return to the global sporting stage after years of banishment. has found an influential source of support from the Trump administration. The news that a Russian team will compete at next month's Paralympics was greeted with dismay across Europe, but Paolo Zampoli, Trump's special representative for global partnerships, endorsed Russia's participation, saying in a text message, "I think sports is for all." Ukraine has signaled their new talks with Russia on February 26th and 27th. Shipments of Russian oil to Slovakia and Hungary have been cut off since January 27th, when Ukraine says a Russian drone strike hit pipeline equipment in western Ukraine. Ukraine says it's fixing it as quickly as possible. This is the thing that the Hungarians and the Slovaks are all pissed about. Hungary and Slovakia are run by pro-Russian extremists, really. Right-wing, I say far right because they are. Basically, from my perspective, these guys might as well be Soviets. They remind me of Soviet bloc leaders who were traitors to their own country, who supported the Russians, hated the Europeans, right? These guys hate the EU, hate NATO, love Putin, hate Ukraine. And basically, their pipeline, they're the only remaining European countries that get, Slovakia. Yeah, Slovakia is the other one. Oh, yeah. Slovakia is the other one. Oh, yeah. That's Fico. That's the short-haired guy who got shot like about a year ago, right after he got elected. Yeah, Slovakia too. What was I saying with this? So they're getting their oil from Russia still, and it comes on a pipeline across Ukraine. Now, I guess Ukraine, I think, still gets some money for the pipeline. I think they do. But the pipeline keeps getting damaged. If I were I don't blame the Ukrainians. These guys are traitors. Now, granted, what the Hungarians are doing in response is blocking aid to Ukraine. So there is that. Now, Hungary is about 6 weeks away from an election where currently he's about to get booted. Orban is. Oh, that's interesting, he's still Soviet. Maybe a social democrat, but he's a Soviet. Soviet wannabe. In any case, what do we got here? Ukrainian drones hit an oil refinery 1,000 kilometers inside Russia, sparking a massive fire. Ukraine has liberated 400 square kilometers, 8 settlements on the southern front since January. This was interesting. This was the last story I want to mention. There was a New York Times essay by this woman, and I thought her essay was very interesting in terms of what it kind of concluded about where things stand with Ukraine and Russia and Europe. Her name is Hannah Notte, director of the Eurasian Non-Proliferation Program at the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies. She says, as the war grinds on, Mr. Trump's admiration for Mr. Putin has not turned into much that actually benefits Russia. Her argument I thought was interesting. Efforts to normalize the bilateral relationship have gone nowhere. There's been no progress on resuming direct flights or sending a new U.S. ambassador to Moscow. Neither the red carpet fanfare of the leaders' one-on-one summit in Alaska, nor the backslapping bonhomie of their cronies is a substitute for proper diplomatic ties. Talk aside, the Trump White House has not been good for Russia. For all his flip-flopping, Trump has not handed Ukraine to Russia. Oh, the country. I don't know if she means America or Ukraine. If he were to force it, Ukraine. If he were to force it into a bad deal now, he would elicit fierce resistance. Maybe. She means from Europe. Maybe. I hope so, but I don't know. Mr. Trump's recent reversal of his threat to take Greenland by force suggests that when there is strong enough pushback, he retreats from his maximalist demands. I just thought that was interesting. The last one is very interesting. Dr. Jack Watling, Senior Research Fellow for Land Warfare at the Royal United Services Institute, RUSI. Listen to this, what he says. The Russians believe they can sustain the war into 2027 and perceive the ongoing process of negotiations as a vehicle for driving a wedge into the transatlantic alliance, right? Europe is rearming, but it is taking time, such that many European states feel a sudden ceasefire on unfavorable terms would expose the continent to grave risks. With Russia spending approximately $500 billion a year on defense when measured by purchasing power parity, and with little prospect of this shrinking in the event of a ceasefire, the removal of sanctions is perceived in Europe to be highly dangerous. The US and EU are therefore diametrically opposed in their objectives. What I think he's getting at here, a couple things. One, Russia is spending massively on their military, and they're not stopping. The Europeans, if I were Europe, I'd be worried of a couple things. When Russia and Ukraine stop fighting, Russia can devote all of its military to going after Europe. That's a big concern. I'm trying to think if there, actually that was the main point that I think I'd be most worried about with this is, I don't want the Ukrainian war to continue, but it is tying up Russia and it is hurting the Russian military. If we end the war that's good for Ukraine, then that's fine. But if we end the war in a way that's bad for Ukraine, it not only hurts Ukraine, but it hurts us because we've still got to deal with Russia once they're done fighting Ukraine and they can point their gun towards us. Anyway, interesting arguments. All right, let's sit around and talk. I'm going to move my computer and slouch down to be more comfortable. Another 20 minutes hanging out. My lip stuff. Anyway, welcome everybody. Keep the gifts coming on TikTok, please. I appreciate that. Is that not known? Gunther? I don't know. Maybe people don't know. Is YouTube still screwing up? Yeah, I can only guess it's StreamYard. Let's see, guys. I don't want StreamYard to screw up because I like being able to stream, to the other sites. But I guess if I have to, I go back to YouTube and we lose Facebook and Instagram again, which would really piss me off because it's kind of nice. Again, we've got like 5 people on Facebook today, which is nice. But if it keeps up, I may have to drop it and, we go back to doing it this way. The only thing is I like doing this because I also am able to get a transcript of the show, which is nice. But, YouTube's being okay that's funny. For some of you, YouTube's being okay. For some of it's being bad. I don't know. Again, it's YouTube and StreamYard have never liked each other. So anyway, all right, guys. So yeah, what do you want to talk about? Tomorrow, like I said, is the 4-year anniversary of Putin's 3-day military invasion. WC for YouTubers. WC switched the quality down to 720 and it went okay. So maybe try that. Oh, the volume's down too. My volume is actually turned up today. That's weird. I'm not sure what you're talking about, JTA. I'm not sure what you're talking about. JTA, I have no idea what you're talking about either of those things. You sure you're talking to me? I didn't say anything about doing a Discord session on Friday. And I said nothing about emailing Cliff either. Anyway. Yeah, John Barron did not call into C-SPAN. No, it was a fake. I thought it was a fake as well. Thank you for I saw that. Thank you for the gift. I always think that heart hood looks like a tooth. Thank you, Blue. But it was a fake. Somebody called into C-SPAN, which is this American TV show, pretending to be Trump's old character. Trump used to call into the local media. Thank you for the star, Mel. Trump used to call into the local media to promote himself. This is John Barron. I'm a spokesman for Donald Trump. And it was clearly Trump. And somebody named John Barron called in to talk about Trump this weekend, but the phone number was from Central Virginia. The guy, it was while Trump was in a meeting with the governors reportedly. I think it was a fake because he sounded like Trump, but it was way too fast and clear. I'm going to see if I can find this, but it was clearly, it sounded fake to me. It sounded totally fake to me. Why are you calling? I don't know. Let me see if I can find this really. Hey! Jeez. Trump, was it John Barron, is it? But it was, I don't think it was Trump. Let me pull this up. Will you be quiet, please? Here we go. I'll pull it up so you can hear it.
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you ever have in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right?
It's not him.
This is a terrible decision, and you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
See, but that's a fake. You can tell it's a fake. First of all, way too fast of talking, way too coherent, right? Boom, 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 boom. Donald Trump in the old days, Donald Trump, first of all, is a slower talker. It's a slower talker, first of all. Oh, pre-recorded, maybe that too. But also, to me, that was a young guy's voice doing Trump, but it was young as well. But also, will you stop, please? Oh my God! But also, it was too. It was good. It was well done, but it was too. Will you? Oh my God! Please stop. Hey, stop, please. I know. What do you want? Are we gonna say hi really quick? Oh, let's say hi really quick, okay? Okay, I know. Oh my God, we're doing our whining again. I know. You all right? I know. Oh my God. Oh my God. I know. She's old and she whines. I know. Right? Yeah? Yeah? It's just, she's old and she whines. And she whines. Oh, she did get a haircut. Actually, she did get a haircut. I forgot that. Yeah, on Sunday she got a haircut. But she's actually feeling better. She's walking much better. So she is feeling better. But she knows in like half an hour she gets treats, and then in an hour and a half she gets a snack before bedtime. So she's in her all right, you want to go down? Okay. She's in her pre-whining mode. I've had her since she was a puppy, yeah. She's in her pre-snack whining mode where she just whines until I give her a snack, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, she's not salt and pepper though. No. She's blonde and like cream, and she's really not salt and pepper. She's cream and apricot. She never really went gray, but I think it's because she's cream colored. You can't tell or whatever, but yeah, she's cream and apricot. I know you. All right. You know what? Hold on. I am going to give her a little treat just to keep her. Let me give you your treat to keep you happy, all right? Let's give it to you now. Just get it out of the way. Let's get it out of the way. See if it keeps you quiet, all right? Okay. There you go, all right? All right. All right. All right. Boom. And a little water, too. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. I caved. Let's see if that keeps her at bay for a little bit. Well, she knows how to work me, but sometimes it does quiet her down a little bit. It does quiet her down. Yeah, I don't do a good Trump impression. Anyway. Oh my God. Yes, she always works me. That's all my life is. Yeah, it wasn't me. No. Oh, I wanted to email somebody to come on the show. I can't remember. There were a number of people I wanted to email to come on the show. I need to have like a notepad in front of me and just write it down when I think of the people to have on the show. But yeah, the point, the dog is old and kind of, she wants what she wants and she gets whiny. Don Lemon, yep, we already reached out to Don. His people know. But she wants what she wants, and she gets very annoyed when she doesn't get it. And she's always been vocal. I mean, my dog's been a talker since she was young. Yeah, there was some humanitarian aid thing. I saw that. I meant to read the article, and I didn't, that we were ending like some really important humanitarian aid program that was like one of the only ones we were still doing, and now we're cutting it off. My dog is a little over 16. Yeah, Kathy Griffin and the guy who wrote the book. I'm not sure who that is. Who's the guy who wrote the book? I do need to reach out to Kathy again, though. That's true. I'm trying to remember like the guests we were gonna reach out to again. I mean, because Kathy already said yes, but I've just got to get her on. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I don't want to start like a whole massive discussion about guests because then we don't stop. 16, 16's old for any dog. I mean, she's a small dog. She's 10 pounds. So, I mean, 16 is kind of what you hope you can get out of them. 18 would be really old. Friends of mine got a small dog that's 20, and I was like, 20, my God. But, she's having some walking issues now. Her vision's kind of going, her hearing's going. Oh, Garrett, there you go. Yes. Garrett is the one we wanted. Garrett Graff. Now that's who you meant. Yeah, no, Garrett is just an old friend who I had on the podcast. He wasn't my podcast partner. That's why I got confused with what JTA was saying. Yes, Garrett came on my podcast a couple times. He's very good. Your dogs are 15 and 16. Yeah, I mean, no, little dogs can make it, you know. No, she gets I buy her feed. She's got a special feed for kidneys that I buy her that, it's not cheap, but it lasts many months. So maybe I pay $25 a month or something for food for her, which isn't bad, Blind, deaf, and happy. A 20-year-old Westie? Oh, my God. That's insane. Wow. Anyway, yeah, no, but her back legs were kind of limping badly. And finally, the medicine the last week, she's been much better. Let's see, but much better the last week. So we shall see. Anyway, what else? Mexico? I mean, I'm not sure what to say about Mexico. They killed some drug lord, or they killed like the drug lord, but I'm not sure. Yay. You know what I mean? I don't know enough about it to know any intricacy of it. That's why I didn't really mention it. I mean, in principle, it should be good news, I assume, right? We like when drug lords are gone. But, it's burning? What's burning? What else, guys? What else? Got a few more minutes here. Hey, I know. What do you want? What do you want from me? Oh, now you're just gonna. Now she's just gonna hang in my bedroom doorway, looking at me. Oh, actually, but the thing is, she's feeling better, so she wants to be. She wants to play all day long now too, which is sweet, but like too much. I did buy her new toys though, so we're making an effort here. Oh. Did Trump demand? I don't know anything about the death. I don't know. Guadalajara Airport had to be evacuated. Oh, I'm sure they're striking back. I mean, I'm not surprised about that. I can pull up YouTube and see. The show is on YouTube. Yes, you can always go there and check. Let's see, Mexico. Let's see what we've got. CNN. Oh, U.S. citizens in part of Mexico urged to still shelter in place as nation on edge following drug lords killing. Mexico's most wanted cartel boss killed, Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, head of Jalisco New Generation Cartel, was killed Sunday alongside 8 other cartel members in a U.S. intelligence-aided Mexican military operation. Sigue nuestra cobertura en español del operativo. It's cute. They've got the little kind of threw in the Spanish. Follow the rest of the story here. Killings sparked widespread unrest. Suspected gang members torched buses and businesses while clashing with security forces. President Claudia Sheinbaum says peace, security, and normalcy are being maintained. Tourists stranded in vacation spots. U.S. State Department urged American nationals today to continue sheltering in place. Several U.S. carriers suspended flights to Puerto Vallarta. Well, that's scary. What else they got here? Federal authorities say the country woke up without major highway blockades after 85 roadblocks were reported Sunday. Oh, I see. So today it's better. Airports are operating normally. Pemex is operating normally. The oil. Okay. I mean, let's see. Sounds like they got a lot of it under control. Yeah, sounds like a lot of it's under control now. But yeah, I mean, that's always corruption in Mexico. Well, this is really corruption. This is drug lords. That's its own thing, right? Anyway. That's exactly what I read, Barbara. Yeah, the story was saying that yesterday things were bad, but it looks like things are better now, which is good. I hear you. I know. Oh, my God. I know. Oh, my God. Okay. Hello. Jeez. Oh, boy. What else, guys? A couple more minutes and then we'll go. Sorry. I hear you. I know. Love you. My elderly dog is getting whiny, which usually happens from she starts this around 4:30 and it goes until 8:30 when she gets her final snack, and then she chills out. So Mexicans are nice people. I've been to Mexico multiple times for work. It was a lovely country. Very nice people. Great food. Actually, very interesting food, because Americans have a very, well, maybe Californians, I don't know, but the rest of us have a very unitary understanding of Mexican food. I'm petting the dog as I talk to you, meaning, enchiladas, tortillas. I mean, it's kind of very simple food. And when I was in Mexico, it was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. The variety of Mexican food, just really interesting. Anyway, so, went to some Mexican fancy restaurants that were really, really good. The street food was really good. Like a taqueria in Mexico City and in Oaxaca, all the food, all the chicken in Oaxaca. Oh my God, all the moles, just very different, interesting food. That, again, you don't necessarily know if you're American, maybe Californians, maybe, right? But for the rest of us, you don't really kind of get the difference in Mexican food. So, Taco Bell, yes. I assume Taco Bell isn't. But I'm saying, we've got local, in DC, it's Central American, right? In Chicago, it's Mexican. How many languages do I speak? Depends how you define speak. Greek is my worst. Well, my worst that I can speak. I have others that are worse. But I mean, I'm very fluent in French, very fluent in Spanish. Italian, I'd say fluent enough. When I went to Italy, I did fine. And my Greek is very good. It's good intermediate Greek. It is not, I would not call it fluent, but it's not beginner. So, and I've been taking classes, so it's getting better. But it's still, oh my God, I hear you. I know. Sorry, dog. Oh my God. I have some Russian. I have a little bit of Russian, as I said. Sorry, guys, I'm yawning at you. I did an introduction video on TikTok. That's still there, I think. And I mentioned and I speak a little Russian when I'm drunk, because I'd studied Russian, and on alcohol, my Russian comes back, but I don't drink much, so my Russian does not come back much. Sasha, I hear you. I know. What do you want me to do? I already gave you your treat. You're done. See, this is what, I don't know how I learned. I mean, I'm good at languages, I'd studied Greek as a kid, but I never got good at it. I finally went to Greece for a summer for 4 months. That did it. Spanish, I studied for 12 years in school, but I finally went and worked in Argentina for a summer, and that did it. For me, going to the country for a couple months, boom, that does it. France, I did my year abroad in college in France, so I learned Greek there. And then I taught myself Italian, so fair enough. But I went to Italy and fell in love with it and taught myself Italian. But once you know Spanish, French, Italian's pretty easy. And I'd been to Italy a lot, and going to Italy, you just pick it up, But for me, I pick up languages hearing them. Studying them I do okay, but I find it very difficult to study languages in a book, Mi acento en español. Bueno, depende, mi acento depende un poco, porque si estoy pensando, ahora cuando hablo contigo, tengo un acento normal, no sé. Aprendí español más o menos mexicano, pero a causa de que pasé 2 meses en Argentina, como digo Argentina, no? I said, when I get sort of nervous, when people throw Spanish at me out of nowhere and I've got to speak Spanish, then my Argentine accent comes back. If I just am boom, you better, somebody on the street speaking Spanish to me, oh, Argentine. It turns into Argentine, because that's where it was 2 months of work, but it was 2 months and I nailed, I was using it every day, interviewing people, and so I really got Okay, and again, now, I'm a little nervous talking to you guys right now. Un poco de acento argentino, sí, depende de qué digo, no sé, depende de la situación, ¿no? Ahorita no, pero a veces digo, me llamo, esas cosas, ¿no? Some of the Argentine will slip out. Food in Argentina was great. I got sick from eating too much, gracias. I got sick of eating too much meat. I actually got sick. I had no idea. I was working for the U.S. Embassy for 2 months. Go to Argentina. It was right at the 4th of July, so they had the 4th of July party. Hundreds of people invited or whatever, and they're serving course after course after course of food outside. And the waiters are coming, and they're bringing, and it's meat, different, sausages and steaks. And of course, it's Argentina, so there's many different kinds of steak and all this kind of stuff, right? And I ate everything. The next day, I woke up, and I thought I had the flu. And I went to the embassy for work, told them, and they said, we've got an embassy doctor here. I go see the embassy doctor, and she goes, did you go to the party yesterday? I said, yeah. She goes, would you? I said, well, me. I said, did you? I said, I ate a little too much. She goes, you're sick from the meat. I said, get out of here. She goes, it happens to a lot of Americans that come here. You eat, is it called meat sweats? It's crazy. I had flu symptoms from eating too much meat. I mean, it's crazy. It literally was flu symptoms. I mean, I was sick. It wasn't like a cold. You get a cold and you're like, it's a cold. This was, that's why I went to the nurse. I'm like, I'm ill. Yeah. So that was, but the food was amazing. I mean, the meat was amazing. Their Italian food is to die for in Argentina. The meat, like I said, the meat was the first time I had steak that, and I'm not really a steak guy either, which is funny. I like burgers and things, but I don't really like steak. I mean, steak is okay. I don't find it special. But the steak was steak where you take a fork and you don't need a knife. The steak just comes apart. And I'd never eaten like that in my life. Yeah, like body aches, exactly. It was just flu symptoms, yeah. Amazing steak. And, just everything with bife de lomo and all these different like sandwiches and oh my God, just wonderful food. But yeah, like I said, the Italian food. And I was lucky because I was in France. I was in Argentina like 1987, I think, or 87 or 88, I forget. And it was like 3 or 4 years after the military junta, which was very interesting because they had just come back into democracy. And the economy, inflation was out of control. And the dollar, you could buy anything. You could buy absolutely anything. And I mean, going to restaurants, I can't even remember now. Like the nicest restaurant we could go to, we were spending $5 or $6 a person in dollars because dollars were so ridiculously valuable at this point. We'd go to dinner with friends to regular restaurants, and literally, I think like the dinner, for 6 of us, the dinner might have been $15, but for 6 people, and I would pay because I was getting a per diem from the government. I think I was getting $50 a day to buy meals. And I was like, $50 a day? I don't need $50 a day for food in Argentina. So I'd buy stuff for my friends. And they were like, you can't buy that. I'm like, your dinner cost $15 total. Like I've got 50. Like but it's weird because it was a fascinating introduction to screwed up economics because you don't appreciate what it is like in these countries with hyperinflation until you go and you're suddenly filthy rich because the exchange rate is so effed up. And again, I'm not filthy rich, and I certainly wasn't filthy rich. I was 23 years old. I was a graduate student, right? But the economy, the exchange rate was so screwed up that just getting $50 a day for food made me hugely rich. It's crazy. But the food, oh my God, Italian food in Argentina, oh my God. My description is not because you came late, firmly. I started the show an hour and 20 minutes ago. So we went through every topic in my description, actually. But now I'm almost done. Actually, I should have been done 2 minutes ago. I'm almost done with the show. So now we hang out and we talk once we finish the news. But yeah, I already went through everything that was on my list. So sorry about that. Like I said, we started about an hour and 20 ago. Anyway, You were alive then? Well, that's good. I don't feel as old, Governor. Anyway, yeah, no, but then things became very expensive in Argentina. Now I think they're mixed. That's true. You could go to YouTube. I do record it on YouTube as well. So YouTube, you can go to the beginning and watch the entire thing. John Aravosis, DC. But yeah, no, Argentina was great. I loved Argentines. Very nice people, very pretty people. And the food, yeah, between the steak and the Italian food, I love Italian food. I know Italian food. They make good pasta in Argentina. I mean, this was years ago. I'm sure even better now. Anyway, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna go because we're already at 20 after, and I try to protect my voice a little. German food, certainly in Bariloche there is. Argentina has a famous ski resort that's very pretty. You feel like you're going to the Swiss Alps. It looks like a little German Swiss town. At least when I was there, sort of the scuttlebutt was that a lot of Germans fled there. Whether they fled because they were good Germans or bad Germans, I don't know, but they fled because of World War II. So you would find a lot of German food there. And they're blonde, a lot of the Argentinians, it was weird. They were blonde there too, Bariloche. It was very funny. Very funny, But I went skiing, which was kind of fun, skiing in Argentina. So that was fun. So Italians, they have huge Italian population. When I was there, 40% of the country was Italian-blooded. 40% Italian blood. I mean, huge Italian. And the names, like my friend's last name is Capuccio. Like cappuccino, Capuccio. Like a lot of Italian names as well with the families. Very interesting. Yeah. Oh, Argentina is very Italian. I mean, it's not Italian, but meaning very, because there was such an Italian influence of immigrants and stuff, Anyway, all right. I'm going to go, guys. Windy McWeinstein is driving me crazy. And I try to keep the show to about an hour 15, hour 20, because that way I don't screw up the voice, since we did screw up the voice once before, as you know. Anyways, thank you for joining. Thank you for the gifts. If you want to watch a recap, you can definitely catch it over on YouTube. It is there. I think it'll, if I remember to go, I can post a recap on Substack as well. I don't think the other services have recaps, so to speak, recording it, but YouTube does, so. All right, guys. Anyway, have a good night. I'm going to go. All right. Go deal with Whiny. All right. Have a good night, guys. I will do this slowly. Discord. We'll start with you. All right. Good night, Discord, folks. I hear you, dog. Oh, my God. All right. You guys, your last TikTok. You guys, good night.